Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm back again with a new video. If you've been following along with my various review videos and you have been enjoying the content, I would like to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like, share, leave a comments. The comments help me to determine which direction to go in. In the future, I will be doing more project-based content, tips type contents concerning woodworking. In this video in particular, I'm going to be taking you on a tour of my garage workshop. I have major changes planned, and I would like for you to see it in its current iteration, which is mostly utilitarian. With that said, I welcome you to my workshop. This is my lumber rack. It supports boards a little over 12 feet long and 12 inches wide. Underneath my lumber rack, you can see my workbench. I made this using construction grade pine, 2x4s and 2x6s. I got the vise from Highland Woodworking, which is located locally here in Atlanta, Georgia. At 5 feet long and 19 inches deep, my workbench is a little on the small size. In the future, I intend on making a larger one. I haven't decided on the size yet, but I'll play around with it in CAD and see what I come up with. I also have built-in storage that allow me to store my bench chisel and my necessary sharpening equipment, such as this strap loaded with rouge. And also on the top one has a carbon chisel in a box. I didn't show it. I'll show that sometime in the future. These bench chisel, I like them a lot. I intend to do a review on them. In the bottom, I have other miscellaneous items like parts for jigs and bench dogs and so forth. I also keep my Veritas power sharpener in the compartment on the right, because I also do my sharpening on this bench. Here you can see various Velcro and miscellaneous items I keep in that drawer down below. Right there, real quickly, you can see my diamond stones. Probably should have taken them out. I'll show that to y'all one of these days. It's 3 diamond plates that I use for sharpening chisels by hand. At this time, you can see the top is occupied with some of my tools. Down here next to the bench, you can see my tool bag. This tool bag is a beast. It holds a lot, but it's extremely heavy. It's also extremely robust. It's made out of leather and heavy canvas. Yeah, I think that's what you call it. Here you can see I keep a lot of my painting and finishing supplies. I have dominoes and plugs for pocket holes and tools that I don't use very often. I also have a TV that I use as a monitor, that I intend to use as a monitor for doing live streams. Walk over here, we could take a look at my MFT. I have my MFT on top of a cabinet with wheels. And this is I didn't do this for looks. I intend to make a better looking version of this in the future. It's mainly, as I said, utilitarian. So you can see my oscillating sander and some other accessories for the MFT that I don't use anymore. I'll leave a link for the video for these new accessories I have gotten for doing my cross cutting. Highly recommend them. Moving on, this area here. These are parts for a chest drawer that I'm building for my wife. And this is a miscellaneous stand that I have from Craig that I'm actually going to be doing away with. I have a new piece of equipment that's going to be coming in that's going to occupy this whole entire space. It's going to be a game changer for me. Stay tuned for that. Down here on the right, you can see my DeWalt 13-inch planer, thickness planer. This is my Woodmaster planer molder, probably my most favorite tool in the shop. This thing is magic in my opinion. You take in a dimensional lumber and it spits out beautiful molding based on profile knives that I put in it. I'll do a review on that in the future. This big purple beast you see here on the wall, I'll explain that a little bit more in a little bit, but is a sacrificial workpiece for when I'm breaking down sheet goods. This is my router table. My router table is a Wazzle. It's a hybrid. It's a cross between a Grizzly router table setup and a woodpecker top and fence. It started off as a Grizzly, but I replaced the Grizzly parts concerning the router with woodpecker. Right here you can see my Cyclone vacuum system. That's by ShopFox. The majority of my large tools are from ShopFox. I purchased them from Peachtree Woodworking Supply. It's 1.5 horsepower, which works for me. I'm a one-man shop. I use one tool at a time. Right now it's not plumbed, but I do have that plan for the future. What I'm showing you right here is my air cleaner. I have to do a review on this. It's not much I could say about it, but it was a great value for the price and it does its job very well. Continuing over to this side, I've done a review on this table saw. I really love this table saw. It's well built. It's reliable. It served me well for the years I've owned it. This is a little bit of storage that I need here for zero clearance plates and other small items. This is a fence I got the idea from off of Fine Woodworking. Along on the side here you can see all my various jigs and so forth for protection and, you know, handling wood around the blade. I really like this jig. I'm not finished with it yet. It's going to have a lot of other accessories going to be affiliated with it. Dust collection, of course. And protection. You got to protect your hands. Over here is my bandsaw. I haven't done a review on this bandsaw yet, but this is a very well-made bandsaw. To be honest with you, I don't use this bandsaw to its full capacity. I mainly use it for ripping large boards that I'm terrified of attempting to do on a table saw. It can be very unpredictable, but I can do it safely on a bandsaw. This is my Sharp Fox drill press with a woodpecker table and fences, and also hold downs. Up here I have a shelf that I keep hinges and other little accessories. I keep books up there, manuals for my various tools. I don't throw away manuals and I read manuals. I think they're very important, especially when it comes to safety. I have various catalogs from different suppliers up there that I keep at hand. Down here in the corner, these are other hardware screws for like drawer slides and hinges and other stuff that I use. And sandpaper, coping sled, and other little various jigs and clamping devices. On the wall, you can see my small hand tool storage. Keep all my pneumatics, tools, and other little jigs as it pertains to cabinetry on this wall. Dado set. Drill bits, Forstner bits to be exact. I intend to clean all of this up, make it look pretty for videos. Drop the saw so it sits below that countertop surface. This is my wings for my Capex. It's also a Wazzle. It's a combination between I forgot the name of the manufacturer, they're out of business, and the Incra system that I modified. I'm very happy with it. This is also going through a process of iteration. I like it a lot, but I have some ideas to improve it. Still use the manual pocket jig, even though I have a foreman. Sometimes it's more convenient to just pull this out if you just want to do one or two. This is tool cabinet. I mostly keep layout tools. On the door, you can see dovetail jig, some winding sticks, my first aid kit, and some posters that has conversions and speeds for bits and so forth. On top of it, I have some Festool guide rails. Right here, you can look at this conversion poster. It shows conversion from fractions to decimals or vice versa. On the inside, you can see I have various hand layout tools, some drafting equipment from back in my manual drafting days. Many of these tools I haven't reviewed yet, but I'll have a review at some point. I really like this tool. I use it for joining and aligning my Festool rails. It works exceptionally well. I have quite a few of Woodpecker's layout squares. Coping saw. And that's a small little neat square from Incra. You can see straight ahead. I have triangles from Woodpecker. That's various hand and layout tools I keep in here. But just like everything else, I'm going to do a more presentable version for YouTube of this. So I just wanted you guys to see where I started. On this countertop, I have other tools like this kit that I use for cabinet hardware. I also have jigs for my guide rails to turn them into T-squares to make 90-degree cuts. Windex, glue, wax, another little stuff that come in handy. On the back wall, all of these are cabinet related jigs for installing drawer slides. On the right there, those gold items. It's made by Incra. I pair them with some Seneca jigs, which allows me to use them for making repetitive cuts on sheet good with my guide rails and my Festool track saw. On the garage door is where I store my longest guide rail. And this is the one I use for breaking down 4x8 sheets. I also store the clamps for them on here. I use these 9-inch quick clamps from Wood River. I also store my sander on this wall. I've done a review on the sander. The sander is a Merca sander. The hose goes back to a Festool vacuum, which is not in the shop right now, is out on the job site. This is my assembly bench and outfeed table. I've done a video on this. I'll put a link to that video. In the future, I intend to put storage underneath it as far as cabinets and so forth. So it allows me to store a lot of my clamps and other tools that I generally use at this location. There's a little bit of lumber storage, is mainly cutoffs and so forth from work that I've done. I try to keep them around as long as possible because a lot of time I need these small little pieces when I'm building stuff. So I'm not too quick to throw them away. I do my best not to waste lumber because I realize that it's not an infinite source of material. Right now I have my foreman and some other stuff stored underneath the bench. But as I said, I'm going to build cabinets to go underneath here to make for more optimal storage. This is a little sub outfeed table I have attached to the saw with a little cabinet that I used to use for storing my insert throat plates, zero clearance for my saw in there, but I don't use that much anymore. It's too inconvenient to go back there. But I do store my oil guards and the wrenches for my table saw blades in this location. Right here you can see my little Cyclone Separator that normally attaches to my Festool vacuum. As I said, it's not in the shop right now, it's out on the job site. Looking ahead, you can see my Craig workstation, workbenches. In these gray containers, I keep stuff like my HVLP sprayer and painting supplies and different hardwares and so forth like that. Again, better look at my Craig workstations, workbenches. Now we've come full circle. This is my work vest. When I'm doing serious work and I want all my mostly used tools at hand, I use this vest. But normally I actually don't like carrying anything on my body, so I don't use it as much as I should. There's a little behind the scenes look. I have two Panasonic G7 cameras, and I intend on adding a GH6 when it comes onto the market. So I do my best to give you all different viewing angles and try to keep the quality up, the audio quality up. I'm getting better at it. And I have equipment for doing live streams. I have not dove into it yet. When I do it, I want to do it right. These bags are actually part of that vest. You can attach it and detach it. So when I don't need all the weight, I try to take off as much as possible. Oh, one little quick little glance over. This is the shop. It's constantly evolving. This is my noisy air compressor. And that's about it, guys. It's coming along. It served me well. Been a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, but it's coming along. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to be notified when new content is dropped on this channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and drop a comment down below.